Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Jay Cartere, and this is Talk About It. Hashtag Talk About It. The date is, give me a sec, Monday, the 27th of February. Now, last week I did record a podcast on Monday, and I totally forgot about it. I just got swamped with releasing videos and making sure that my video schedule was right and had videos to put out and that sort of stuff and recording videos. And my time's been consumed a lot by playing Ark, running the tribe and that sort of stuff. It's like running a community of people. It's very, very time consuming, and staying on top of shit, making sure that I'm, doing what needs to be done and whatnot, forging connections and political alliances and all that sort of shit. And yeah, I ended up putting the podcast on Thursday. So sorry about that, guys. Hope you wasn't waiting too long or whatever. I was thinking about just discontinuing the podcast, to be honest, because the YouTube views haven't been, great and whatnot. But then I checked SoundCloud, and SoundCloud was looking pretty alright. So I figured, might as well just fuck it and just do the podcast. Just stop doing shit that I don't want to do on the podcast. For example, I'm not going to be doing album reviews a lot. Last week I did say that I'd start doing album reviews and like listening to 10 tracks and that sort of stuff. But I've decided to, just not do it if I don't want to do it. Now, I will still talk about the albums that have come out if I've listened to them. But generally, I don't really listen to music like I used to when I was making music and going to uni for music production and that. Because when I was going to uni every day, or I don't know, 3 days a week, I'd listen to music while I was on the train, while I was commuting to uni, forward and back. And yeah, I'd have way more time to listen to music, but my time's basically been consumed by making YouTube content and focusing on my YouTube channel, because that is currently what I'm doing full time, and I have to focus on that in order to make it successful. And yeah, I don't even listen to music in the morning very much like I used to. Like, I just fucking do what needs to be done. Maybe watch a couple YouTube videos, do a bit of planning, get ready for the day, brush my teeth, have a bath, that sort of shit, and then get to work. So yeah, I don't want to force myself to listen to albums in order to review it, because I feel like it takes too long. But in the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't take as long as, the series reviews and stuff like that, because reviewing a series, you have to watch multiple episodes that take an hour each. A couple albums, or an album, usually takes an hour and a half max, something like that. So in the grand scheme of things, I guess the time commitment is less for the albums, but I enjoy watching TV more than forcing myself to listen to an album, because certain times I want to watch a show or whatever. And yeah, I just want to listen to music when I want to listen to music, and I'll review those albums when I want to. Now, a new Future album did come out. He just released Hendrix. I have listened to a fair amount of tracks, but it was kind of in the background and I wasn't focusing on it. And I think I got around to track 13, I think. I'm not 100% sure. And I think it was cool. I feel like it's better than the last album, because I prefer Future when he's singing in that. But again, I haven't really listened to the whole album, so I can't really give you a great review on that. And Stormzy's new album did come out, or not his, well, it is his new album, but it's his debut album, his only album. So I am excited to listen to that, but I haven't had the time to get through it yet, and I really want to give it its, I really want to give it a proper listen and give it its just due, instead of just, forcing myself to listen to it for the sake of a review. So yeah, not going to be really doing a lot of music reviews. Let me know if you're unhappy about that, if you're cool with that sort of stuff. But I probably will be doing series reviews when I, finish a series, or if I'm watching a series, I'll talk about the episodes that I've currently watched and whatnot. I did touch on The Walking Dead last week. The previous episode that came out last week, I guess I'll talk about it in this podcast. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was pretty I didn't know what was going to happen in that episode at all, because the new group that was met is a cast of members that weren't in the comic. So I had no idea what was going to happen next. I have seen certain theories online that these people may eventually become the Whisperers, and I see how that could occur, but I don't think they're gonna go that way. It seems, I don't know, maybe they are trying to create a backstory for the Whisperers. I'm not 100% sure which way my thought process is leading on this, because maybe they will do it, maybe they won't do it. It'll be really interesting to see how it works out, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really have a complete view of where I think it's definitely going to be going, but it was very interesting. I liked the episode. I feel like it was cool. I was really disappointed that we hadn't seen Negan for 2 weeks though. Like, he is one of my favorite characters, and I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan's portrayal of Negan and the job that he's doing. So I was very disappointed that I didn't get to see him in 2 episodes. But we did see Negan this week. I don't know if I want to talk about episode 3, because, well, this is coming out on Tuesday. Did I even spoil episode 2? I kind of didn't. Like, I don't want to spoil these episodes just in case people haven't seen them. So, yeah, I'll kind of talk about them vaguely. So, fuck it, I'll talk about episode 3 in it, because last week I was really upset that my review came out so late. I don't think this is going to come out that late. It should be coming out tomorrow, but this episode was pretty good. Actually, it was okay. Now, it was really focused around what was happening at Xavier's compound, and, Eugene and his relationship with Negan, and a little bit of Dwight and that. And I feel like that was cool. I do really want to see more of Sanctuary and how the Saviors operate, and Negan's whole economy system and work system and that, because we didn't really see a lot of that in the comics. They did kind of briefly talk about it, but we never got around to seeing the actual inner workings of Sanctuary and how the actual economics of that place actually work. So it's very interesting. I hope they expand on that in the series. I hope we see more of, more episodes focusing on Sanctuary and how Negan acts with his residents or his community or whatever, and how, their relationships are. But yeah, it was cool. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too great. Eugene isn't one of my favorite characters, so I don't really care to see a whole episode kind of focused around him. But he's an interesting guy, and it was an interesting episode. I did want to see what was happening next, and yeah, it was cool. It was fun. I am really excited to see the next episode. So we'll see how that works out. But I do feel like this season is gonna be a good season. It's definitely not one of those super whack seasons that happen, like the one focusing on the governor and that. I didn't really like when they showed the governor's point of view and they went on that thing. It was I don't feel like that was a great season, or the second season. But I feel like my opinion has changed on the second season, because I didn't really hate the second season when I watched it. But since I saw so many reviews online trashing it and saying how that's the season to skip and how they dragged it out and how it was so boring, now my opinion has changed. So maybe my real opinion from like my heart of hearts isn't what I'm saying right now. Maybe it's just been skewed so much through what other people have been saying. But when I heard the different opinions of why people don't like the second season, I understand where they're coming from, and it sounds like that is, the whole amalgamation of the different ideas of why it was so shit eventually brought me around to believing that, that was kind of a shit season. It could have been way better, and yeah, that was a good point and whatnot. So maybe I've been persuaded into it instead of being manipulated into it. But yeah, I do like The Walking Dead, and I'm happy to see it continue. I wanted to talk about YouTube for a little bit now. I have been focusing on my YouTube channel quite a lot lately. So that is basically what my life has been consumed by. I do have a fair amount of YouTube videos to film today. I did spend about an hour or two looking to change my energy provider because EDF have really been fucking me over by changing their price consistently year after year. It's been going up, but I called them and apparently that's just, energy prices just go up, and that's just the way of the world. It's just the economy, innit? So that may be it. And after, an hour or so of looking through energy providers, I saw a fair few cheaper options, but apparently they had really bad customer service. When I looked at all the reviews, there were a few 1 stars and 2 stars, and I don't really want to change over. And some of them had exit fees. The current price plan I'm on now does not have an exit fee. So I was like, I really do not want to be paying £60 to leave if this turns out to be super shit. And I really don't want to be dealing with crappy customer service and having to call up and that sort of stuff in order to change over. And I cannot deal with a day without fucking electricity or a day without gas or anything if that was to happen. So I'm gonna end up staying with VDF, it seems. So that happens. Sometimes you look for a change and you go back to the same thing. But that was just a tangent. Just wanted to let you guys know how my day has been going. I hope your day has been going pretty well. I'm kind of going to use these podcasts to just rant and say whatever the fuck I want to say, to be honest, and just have a kind of semi-personal conversation with people who care about the podcast and care and want to hear that sort of stuff, just to let you guys know what the typical stuff of being a YouTuber is, just in case you want to be a YouTuber. So basically I've put out a few. No, let me go into my process of when I get a new game and I start making content around it. That will give you more context as to what I'm going to talk about next. So generally, when I get a new game, I will play it for a little while before I make some content on it. Obviously, if I can I try to make content as soon as possible, because I generally get the game on release day. And if I've got the game after release day or whatever, then I probably won't even make any content of it, because if it's a big game and other people have made all the content already, there's really no point. So I just play that for pleasure at that point, or stream it or something. But if I bought like a new big game on release day, or I've got like a review copy, which it hardly ever happens. The general thing is I'm getting it on release day. If that happens, then I play it for a little while. If I have any stumbles with anything that I don't know about, and then or something that I can't do in the game, or I have to search really hard in order to find out how to do it, or if I have to Google anything in order to find out how to do it in the game or whatever, then I'll write that down. I'll take a note of it and I'll make a video about that later. Also, if I learn anything while playing the game that I didn't know in the beginning, or something which I believe is, a cool little trick or tip or something, then I'll also write that down and try to make a video around that. But basically, I think when Watch Dogs 2 came out, I got it on... No, did I even get it on release day? Yeah, I think I got it on release day. But online and stuff wasn't out. So I played it a little bit, and then I had questions for things that I couldn't do. Like, for example, I didn't know how to shoot while driving. I knew it was a possible thing, but I didn't know how to do it. After a few Googles and whatnot, doing a bit of research, trying out different things, I finally found out how to do it. So I made a video on it. And I done that for a few other features within the game, a few other simple basic things that, with time and research you could find out how to do. I decided to make a convenient video and, capitalize on the search engine optimization and whatnot in order to, target those people who wanted to Google the search term or whatever, like how to do this, because they're trying to research how to do it, and then my video would come up, they'd watch it, and then they'd be happy about it and whatnot. And this generally works for my YouTube channel. It generally brings in, some of the videos bring in a good amount of views. Some don't. Some do terrible. Some do great. This is the maths of fucking doing YouTube. It's all about playing the probabilities when you're a small YouTuber, because my subscriber base is very segmented. Everyone hasn't subscribed to me for one specific thing. Now, some people have subscribed to me because they like my UFC videos. Some people have subscribed because they like my music. Some people have subscribed because they like my review of this specific game or something like that. So a lot of people have subscribed from different things. So I can't put out a video and rely on my subscribers to watch it. Like, that's not the way it works. I have to rely on search engine optimization, making sure my tags are good, making sure my titles are good, description, all that sort of stuff, and making sure my video is about what I'm talking about. So that's generally how I make videos, and it's been working pretty well for me. If you wanted to, make videos yourself, I'd say this is a good strategy that works. And I've got a few other videos on YouTube tips and whatnot, so definitely go check them out if you really want to get into making YouTube videos. But I decided to post a few of these videos in the Watch Dogs subreddit, and I had a few negative responses, which it's very annoying when people don't understand what I'm trying to do. So when I get negative responses to something, like if it's just someone saying, I don't like this, then fair enough, you don't like this. But I think I had one certain guy on Reddit who was going through all the videos that I had posted, and he was like, oh, this is a completely useless video. I think he said it on the how to shoot while driving video and a few other videos, but there's no point going into, what specific videos it was, because that doesn't change the point or anything that I'm getting to. That's just over explaining, kind of like what I'm doing now. But basically, he commented on that video on Reddit and whatnot, and said, this is a completely useless video, blah, blah, blah. And then, I kind of thought about it. I was like, is this video useless? Like he was saying, anyone could basically try and press all the buttons and figure it out, or, do a couple Googles and whatnot and figure it out. Like, this is useless. And I thought about it a little bit. I was like, that's a point. Like, someone could press all the buttons and figure it out. But then, my reasoning came back into it, and I realized, which is the truth, that people in general are lazy. And that is what you need to learn. That is what most people need to learn. Like, people in general are lazy, and they won't take the route of learning things for themselves. They want to be spoon-fed the information. And, learning basic things, like I made a video on how to change your PSN email password, or how to change your PSN email address. I've done both of those. And I thought that no one would ever give a shit about this video or these videos, because they're so basic. Like, all you have to do is go to fucking settings and you can see everything there. It just walks you through it. So why would anyone need this video? But lo and behold, to my surprise, like 70,000 views later, people are fucking lazy, and they want the information easily communicated to them, even if it's super basic information. People don't want to go the long way and find it themselves. So if you can capitalize on something that's super basic that other people aren't capitalizing on, you will in turn help people who don't care to just check it out themselves or find out the solution themselves, and are just trying to Google to get the quick answer and find out how to do something. You can help those people, and you can reach a large amount of people and capitalize and pay your bills and whatnot, which is a win-win for me. So I knew this knowledge, and I tried to communicate it to him and whatnot, and he didn't want none of it. It was like, no, it's useless, blah blah blah. Couple months later, fair amount of those videos are over like thousands of views and whatnot. So I guess I was right. And it happened again when I was posting like big noob Ark videos on the Ark subreddit. Ark is a game, if you don't know. I was posting those videos there, and a few people were like, oh, this is completely useless. Everyone knows about this. But the fact is, everyone doesn't know about everything that you know. You need to understand. Like, I forget about this all the time. Like, people live different lives. Like, everyone isn't the same as you. Everyone doesn't share the same opinions. Everyone doesn't live the same way you do. People live different lives. People have different information presented to them. So just because you know something and you feel like, this is common sense. Like, I know in order to tie my shoelace, I do the little cross thing and then you loop it around and all that sort of shit. This is easy. Everyone knows this. No, no, people have to learn this shit. There's some people who, maybe they wear sandals their whole life, or maybe there's a young child who hasn't learned how to tie his shoelaces yet because his parents are overprotective and they tie his shoelaces for him or whatever. They're just not overprotective, but they're over helping or whatever. Or maybe he's super young and he doesn't know how to tie his shoelaces. Someone making a video on how to tie shoelaces, even though a large amount of people know it, is still going to be helpful to people who don't. So that's the point that I want to make about YouTube and content and stuff like that. Like, if you're making YouTube videos, and I believe this is probably one of the best things that will help you grow your channel, is to just think about what you know that is so easy for you to communicate and so easy to you that you can share with other people. Because just because it's easy for you and you know about it doesn't mean that everyone else will know about it. And you'll probably tap into a subsection of people that don't know about it, or a subsection of people who are lazy. I believe it's the general public. Most people don't want to do shit. People want shortcuts. People want the easy way. So if you could provide the easy way to communicate some information, you can really capitalize off that. Even if like the information is easily found by 3 clicks, why don't you make it available in 1 click with your easily communicated information? There you go. So yeah, I'll just share a little tip of my experience with YouTube and shit. YouTube is really long, by the way, so if you do want to get into it, be sure that you're in it for the fucking long haul. I also want to talk about this movie I watched yesterday called Arrival. Now, Arrival came out, I think it was a few months ago, and I didn't look at any trailers. I think I may have heard a few reviews of people saying it was good and whatnot, but I waited for it to, grace the online database in a nice quality version, so that I could watch it in the comfort of my own home, because, cinema is long and time consuming and it's just a bump out there. So yeah, I watched it online yesterday and it was a very, very good film. I did see the twist coming from a mile away, like within the first 15 minutes of the film, but that didn't make the rest of the film crap. Like, it was still a very good experience and I did enjoy it. So I definitely suggest you guys to check it out if you haven't done so already. And I also wanted to talk about How to Get Away with Murder Season 3. Now, oh my God. I started watching How to Get Away with Murder, I think it was last year. And I watched the first season or the first episode or whatever, and I couldn't stop. And then I caught up. And then when the season cut off in like the middle and whatnot, I stopped watching it. And then went, obviously, because it was on the middle break, so I didn't have a choice to watch it. But when it came back, I wasn't watching it until the whole thing came out, because that's how I do with most series. Like, I'm not even watching Suits at the moment because they thought it was cool to have a half-season break. So when the whole thing comes out, I'll fucking watch it, innit? That's what I like, to be able to watch shows when I want to watch shows, not be waiting for it each week, because, like, I hate cliffhangers. I hate cliffhangers. I hate ending the show and then it's like, I want to know what happens, but you got to wait until next week. I fucking hate that. I hate it. That's why I like Netflix. That's why I like being able to, watch a show that's already done. If a show's still in production, then I'll be a bit standoffish about if I really want to continue watching it. But I'm really disappointed with season 3 of How to Get Away with Murder. And because I don't want to spoil it, I can't even tell you why I'm so disappointed. But I'm super disappointed with the half season conclusion. With who the victim was. I think that is as vague as I can be, while still letting the people who have actually watched it know what I'm pissed off about. And I don't think saying who the victim was is a very big spoiler, because if you haven't touched season 3, then, or if you haven't watched the series yet, then you'll forget that. You'll forget this by the time it comes out. And if you're on season 3, then it's not that much of a spoiler, because it's anything in it. But yeah, I was very disappointed with who the victim was. Very, 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 very disappointed. Then even more disappointed with why that victim died and the conclusion to that victim's story. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to see something done so poorly. I can't even. It was just bad. It was just bad. It was really bad, and I think they should have done a way better job. And I think they shouldn't have done what they done, basically. And I hope. I don't know. Like, I kind of hope that this is the end, but I feel like they need to do a better ending. So I kind of hope it's the end, because it just seems like it's going to go downhill from here. But I do kind of hope that they fix it basically in the next season. But I don't see any way that they can. So I'm kind of on the edge here, or on the fence. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of it if you watch How to Get Away with Murder. It's fucking disgusting what they done, man. I'm so disappointed. Because I thought, this is a really cool show. Like, it's a really interesting show. Yes, it does seem a bit, oh shit, there's hail outside. Mad thing. It does, like, the first season, it's going to be really annoying. I hope you guys can't hear that. The first season and the second season kind of had the same setup. So it did seem like, okay, we're going through the motions again. I feel like the third season had the same setup also, but, they've changed it. They've definitely done a big change now. So I don't know how they're going to... Like, I don't mind the setup that they was doing in the first, second and third season. But now I believe that they've gone just so far left, and I just can't stay along with the ride, to be honest. I can't stay along. I don't know. I might just stop watching it. But yeah, I really want to know you guys' opinions on everything I talked about today. And let me know in the comment section below. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know, commenting on SoundCloud, or leave a review on iTunes, that sort of stuff. And yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you're watching on YouTube. Also, be sure to like, repost, and follow if you're listening on SoundCloud. And be sure to review, rate, and subscribe if you're listening on iTunes. And I'll see you guys next week, I guess. Also, if you want to suggest any ideas or things that I should talk about, any things that you want to hear my opinions on, anything like that, then tweet me at Jay Cartere. Peace. Or leave a comment down in the YouTube section. Like, I'll probably read that as well. Fucking hell. It's just beating against my window like, hey, we're out here. Lucky I don't have to go nowhere today. That's fucked up. Let me know if you got caught out in the hell today, guys. That sounds harsh. Oh, it stopped. It stopped. That is really weird. English weather. Yeah, now it just seems like rain. Alright, peace, guys.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this won't if I share with you.